In the serene valleys of Kashmir, where snow-capped peaks meet emerald meadows, tragedy struck on a quiet spring afternoon. April 22, 2025, began like any other day in Pahalgam, a picturesque town often called the Valley of Shepherds. Tourists trekked through the Baisaran Valley, a paradise accessible only by foot or horseback, unaware that the tranquility would soon shatter. By dusk, the meadows were stained with blood. At least 24 tourists, fathers, mothers, children, lay dead, victims of the deadliest militant attack on civilians in Kashmir in over half a decade. Laughter echoing across the hills, families posing for photos, children feeding horses, couples strolling through wildflowers. Suddenly, gunfire erupts. Masked militants armed with assault rifles emerge from the tree line. Survivors recount the horror screams, chaos, and the sickening sound of bullets tearing through tents and picnic blankets. Some victims are shot at point-blank range, others flee into the forest only to be hunted down. The attackers' targets? Non-Muslim tourists and supporters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, according to eyewitnesses. For 20 agonizing minutes the militants roam unchecked. By the time security forces arrive, the valley is a tableau of carnage. 24 confirmed dead, dozens injured, and a community left shattered. Two shadowy groups claim responsibility. The first, the Resistance Front, accuses India of demographic terrorism, a reference to policies encouraging Hindu settlement in Muslim-majority Kashmir. The second, Kashmir Resistance, vows more attacks unless India withdraws its military. Analysts say both groups are likely offshoots of larger Pakistan-based organizations. Islamabad denies involvement. This was no random act. Kashmir, split between India and Pakistan since 1947, has endured decades of conflict. For militants, targeting tourists sends a brutal message: Kashmir is not safe under Indian rule. Prime Minister Modi, midway through a diplomatic trip to Saudi Arabia, cuts his visit short. In a televised address, his voice trembles with anger. This is not just an attack on innocent lives, it is an assault on India's soul. He vows retribution. A military manhunt begins. Helicopters scour the forest, villages are sealed off. But grief quickly turns to rage. Protests erupt in Srinagar. Angry crowds blame the government for failing to protect civilians. Schools close, internet services are suspended. Home Minister Amit Shah warns of ruthless consequences, but critics ask, why was a tourist hotspot left so vulnerable? The world reacts swiftly. US President Donald Trump calls Modi, expressing America's unwavering solidarity. The European Union condemns the barbaric act. China urges restraint. But behind the diplomatic language, tensions simmer. India accuses Pakistan of harboring militants. Pakistan denies it, calling the attack homegrown resistance. Meanwhile, fear grips the region. A shopkeeper in Pahalgam says, "We rely on tourists to survive. Now who will come?" This tragedy breaks a fragile calm. Since 2019, when India revoked Kashmir's special status, violence shifted away from tourists. The focus was on security forces, but this attack changes that. It reignites old wounds, a grim reminder that Kashmir remains a tinderbox, where political grievances fuel endless bloodshed. Families of the victims demand answers. A grieving father from Mumbai asks, "Why my daughter? She just wanted to see the mountains." As the sun sets over Baisaran Valley, burnt tents and bullet casings litter the grass. Flowers left by mourners sway in the wind. The attack in Pahalgam is more than a headline, it's a painful testament to a conflict with no end in sight. For Kashmir, peace remains a distant dream, drowned out by the echoes of gunfire. What does this mean for the future of Kashmir? Can dialogue replace violence, or will the mountains continue to bear witness to tragedy? The world watches and waits.